Yo, what's your guys' favorite Chinese food when you go to the buffet?
Oh, okay. So wait, are we talking about Chinese order or buffet?
Not buffet. Like when you go to the buffet, what's the first shit you
I
walk up to?
I gotta
Yeah,
get
like
lo mein. First off, I gotta get lo mein. That's a must. The Chinese buffets out here, they always have crab legs and shrimp. I gotta get
damn,
crab legs
what the
and
fuck?
shrimp. Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
absolutely,
Like
bro.
crab legs, fuck, dude. I like the
That's a
Mongolian beef.
that's a
Mongolian beef.
must.
What about you, Derp?
Must.
Quick. What you got?
What I got?
Favorite Chinese food?
Crab
Favorite
legs.
Chinese food at the buffet?
Crab legs, like Brian said.
Damn, you guys got like a bougie ass Chinese fucking buffet. What the fuck, crab legs? We get like sushi with fucking flaming hot Cheeto dust on it. Real fucking
What?
ghetto ass, dude. Put some chamoy on that shit. Us Mexicans, we're
You
always
guys
putting
don't
chamoy
know
on
what
everything.
you guys don't know anything about Chinese food.
What is up? Welcome back. It's Sunday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with my boy Brian D from New Jersey. What's up, Brian?
What's up?
And I am here with Derpy Entertainment, our boy from the Ohio area. Derpy, what is up, my dude? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Excellent, man. I'm always happy to have you back, brother.
I took a nap prior to the show, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, papa. Yeah, he's like, I ain't napping this time. Not on the show.
Right,
Derpy, we have sometimes, whenever we're talking Marvel and you're not jumping in, I always feel like you're fucking crashing out, baby. Always crashing out. Yo, that's wild though, man. On the pre-talk, we're talking about, I just wanted to be like, let me throw some random ass shit. Crab legs at a Chinese buffet, dude. Like, we don't have that. And it's so crazy because
Well-
Brian and I always talk about weird shit that happens
Brian
between
knows
here
what's
and Texas and Jersey. And ours is like Brian flicks. Oh, dude, I haven't even asked Derpy. Derpy, pickles at a theater, yes or no?
No,
No, so you guys don't do pickles at a movie theater?
No one does.
no.
Wow, that's got to be like a Texas thing, man.
That is definitely 1000% a Texas thing. 1000%.
That's fucking crazy. So Derpy, over here in Texas, people eat popcorn and pickles like all the time. Pickles is like a whole ass real menu item kind of thing. What about fried pickles? Are you guys cool with fried pickles?
Fried pickles are alright. It's just
I look at Brian's face. Brian even looked at like the fuck is a fried pickle? What the
I
fuck
just
is
never
that?
heard of pickles in a movie theater at all.
No. Okay, so fried pickles not in a movie theater. No shit, that's like a restaurant thing. If you're gonna do like a wings place or like an Applebee's or like something, do they do fried pickles? Like, is that a thing in your guys' area? Like,
No,
Brian, I gotta ask Brian because Brian's in a cool part of cities, man.
No, I think any variation of pickles is kind of
It's just fucking
a
blasphemy, dude.
rarity up here where I'm from, bro. Yeah, no.
Do you think that's like yo?
It's
You
weird.
see, look, David in the comment section. Pickled Texas, 100%. Look at that shit.
I'm just assuming they just serve you you just sit there and just eat a whole fucking pickle like a maniac.
What are you talking about? Like when they do fried pickles? Or are you talking about when they do like just right?
Anything.
Let's
like
say
they-
fried pickles. Let's say fried pickles. So what they do is they dice a pickle up and they
Okay.
batter it and then they do the shit and then they give it to you with ranch dressing. I think that's like one of my personal weird ass fucking appetizers.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
that shit. I really do.
Yeah.
But when you go to the theater, they're just like, yo, here's a big dildo. Like, eat that shit. Enjoy your
Yeah,
enjoy
no,
your
see,
movie.
that's what I'm envisioning.
That's the
And
weird
then
shit,
you guys look like fucking maniacs, just
Yeah,
sitting
you're
there
just eating Ninja Turtle dicks in the background while
Crunching.
someone's trying to enjoy a movie.
crunching on a pickle. That's yeah.
I call the pickle hole a Ninja Turtle dick because that's really what it
That's
is. Man.
That's a wild visual, by the way. Like,
Yeah, you're now never not gonna see it. Yeah, I'm gonna sell you. I'm gonna show you one day. I'm gonna package fucking pickles and I'm gonna put Ninja Turtle dicks on the front, and people are gonna buy it, dude. People are gonna buy it.
yo, I need my access back to put these comments up because David makes a really good comment.
Oh, eye
There's no-
contact though.
There's no eye contact. Yeah, don't eat a
Gotta get
pickle
your admin
and,
rights
and-
back,
and
man.
try
What
to
the hell?
strike up a conversation with me, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you to finish it before you say anything to me.
Yeah, nobody ain't looking at you with a whole pickle in their hand, like, hey man, how was your
Nah.
day today, buddy? Like, he ain't fucking. Yeah, no, that's kind of weird.
calling a flag on a play immediately.
So like I can't even go into the next conversational piece and be like, yo, well, which ones do you prefer, kosher pickles or dill pickles sour? Like you're gonna be like, fuck them all, dude. Line them up, dude. Firing squad that bitch. I don't care where you put them. Just put them over there. Don't put them next to me.
Yeah, I don't get the whole pickle craze. But listen, I don't kink shame. I don't do any of that shit. So hey, listen, if that's your guys' bag, I support it.
Whatever you want to do with some long flaccid items, man, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. Derpy in Ohio, pickles, they a thing or are they not a thing?
No.
Damn, I feel like Texas is just. But we have HEB though, so like I don't think you guys got HEB out there, man. So we're doing something right. We may not get pickles right, but we're doing something right.
Listen, I gave you guys your flowers. I gave you guys your HEB love last weekend, but that does not condone this pickle behavior. I'm sorry, I can't condone this one.
Straight. So how was your guys' week, man? You guys are doing good? Everything all right in your guys' neck of the woods?
Everything's good with me. Derpy, how was your week, bro?
It went well, and today ended off well as well. Rory McIlroy won the Masters, so I'm happy.
He almost blew it. He almost blew it, bro.
But he won it, so I'm happy, and that's all that matters right now.
He is getting tore up online. But you know what? You know what's the good thing about that though is that no one's gonna remember that. They're they're not gonna remember how he almost blew it.
Right.
Was that the Final Four basketball shit you guys were talking about?
No.
Last week, remember I asked you guys what was going on sports-wise?
Yeah, but you don't know who Rory McIlroy is though, dude?
No, I don't know who these fucking guys are.
He doesn't care about golf. Right?
Is it golf?
It's golf. The biggest golf event just happened this past weekend.
They have big events. Like what the fuck? I didn't know it was a real sport. I thought this was a place where dudes get drunk at.
So I'm assuming you've seen people with like the golfers with like the gold jackets when they get presented the gold jackets. You've seen that somewhere.
No, I don't care that much.
You've never seen that ever in life.
You never seen Happy Gilmore.
What's that? Adam Sandler movie? Did they do that in that?
Happy Gilmore.
They do it in Happy Gilmore? That's about as far as I know about golf. I literally thought the dude that he was learning from was a real golfer. They just kind of brought him in.
I don't have words right now. This is
I don't know anything about golfing, dude. Like I literally think it's just where my friends who have some money go on the weekend to get away from their wives and drink beer and do coke, dude. That's literally I don't know about the coke part, but I'm guessing that's just the only thing.
Probably coke involved.
I mean, there's fucking professional esports games for Fortnite, so I guess you could do it for golf too.
Yeah, so this is and so like Derpy said, this was like the Super Bowl of golf, the Masters. It's a very prestigious event.
Is that like Tiger Woods shit? Tiger Woods, right?
Tiger Woods has won the Masters a few times, yes.
Cool. Okay.
And at the end you get a gold jacket. It's kind of like a
green jacket.
Like a Letterman or something.
Yeah, did I say gold jacket? Yeah, it's a green jacket. My fault. But yeah, you get a green jacket. You're part of this fraternity that won the Masters. It's like a big event, and that's what.
What do you get, dude?
There's no phones too there. You're not allowed phones at the Masters.
Yeah. So this was a big weekend, and the guy that won, he's been around for years. This kind of solidified his quote unquote greatness. Yeah, his legacy, but he almost. Yeah, he won the Grand Slam. So this was a big moment for him, but he almost blew it. Like he had a sizable lead, and he kind of let the pack back in the in the running of it, but he pulled it out. So
that's badass. He gets a jacket. He gets like a full 3 years paid off at Costco. Like, because I really don't know. I don't know. He gets some of the cheddar biscuits at Lobster. Like
all the biscuits,
loaded, man. Thank God for that golfing Super Olympics or whatever it is.
All the biscuits, yes.
So like, are these dudes at least in shape? Or are they just a bunch of weird ass old dudes doing it, or what?
I mean, golfers are the majority of them are all.
Pretty
you
good
have
shape?
to be in shape. Yeah, you have to. This is like a 3-4 day event.
4 days.
And it's like it's a 4-day event that you're doing 18 holes. So you gotta be in shape. You can't be a
slouch.
Yeah, you can't
be a bum.
In Georgia.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give him that. Did you guys first off, and only thing that matters, did you guys enjoy the competition? Like, did you watch it and get to enjoy?
I didn't watch it. I'm not a big golf guy.
Oh damn! What the fuck did you just jump my?
I just know it. I just no, but like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
On his phone.
I was like, you should ask for not knowing gold jackets, and you're like, no, fuck that noise. I don't watch that shit. I don't watch that boring ass shit.
Golf is the most boring sport to watch, bro. Unless you have money on it, then it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's like a niche audience for it because it's like unless you're like super boring or like literally like only if you literally buy manga from Barnes and Nobles, like then you're not just reading it there and leaving it because you don't have the cash to buy it. Like that's the guys that play golf to me, dude. Yeah. Or like if they're really like high, they're asking you your highest score in Sims and shit. Like those guys are the ones that are like, yo, I watch golf. Yeah. That's like the step under Formula One or all that racing shit. I can't watch that shit for bones either, dude. I think it's cool.
I can't watch NASCAR.
You can't fucking get me, man.
I can't watch NASCAR.
Out of it, though.
Oh, do you watch NASCAR, Derpy, or what?
NASCAR a little bit.
Okay, you're like inner city guy. You're like an inner city kid. You're like did you grow up like ranching and farming and shit, like or like around like like heavily wooded areas?
Does not strike me as a farmer guy at all.
But he's inner city, dude. He's like Iowa and Ohio, like they just got big fucking farms. Like Iowa. It's either you fucking wrestle, you're
Southern
you're in the FFA, yeah, you're a drummer in high school band. Or you fucking you watch NASCAR. Like that's it. Like that's it. So which one are you, Derpy? Which one do you do for fun? Derpy, I'm waiting for your answer, Derpy. Which one are you? What do you do for a hobby? God damn it.
Video games. That's it.
Okay, well that works. Okay, you're here.
This whole segment is off the rails. By
we don't even got into the main stuff, and we're
no. We're flipping, man. We're running. Already. We're running. We're having a good time, boys. I'm having a good time. Oh, that's good, yo. I'm glad. Like so, okay. Straight, Brian. I have to ask you because it would be the weirdest thing not to. Diego Lopez, Volkanovski, all the fights last night, entertaining or not?
So you and I had a chance to talk about this in our group chat. Mm-hmm. And I had said prior to watching the event last night, I was not looking forward to this card.
Yeah, kind of went over the top. It was like, already.
Yeah, I think I knew like one or two people in the card. Listen, I'm a fake UFC guy. I like watching.
Not even, bro. You're good.
I like watching. And I know like the big names, but if you're gonna ask me to go like in depth on the featherweights, I'm not.
Yeah. You're like me. You're just casual watching.
Yeah, I just like to see people beat each other the fuck up. Yep. And last night, bro, from top to bottom, every fight was interesting, top to bottom, bro. And that's hard to do on a card like that,
especially with a lot of like up and coming names. I think like Paddy the Baddy and Volkanovski both have really solid names. That Diego Lopez guy, like he's a Brazilian living in Mexico, trying to come off as a Mexican. Like, but he's. I was
confused about that. Was he Brazilian or was he Mexican?
He's 100% Brazilian.
Okay,
and he moved to Mexico to train in Mexico.
Okay,
so I think because he was already like, I want to say like him and his family and a lot of people like that he's close to, all black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Got it.
But I think like deep down inside, they think like the Mexican striking, the boxing and all that stuff is like top tier. So they just moved from Brazil straight up. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're just trying to get it. And, I think if I'm not mistaken, he trains at the same gym that Alexis Grasso trains at.
Okay.
So they have a really good like striking system. They have a really good contemporary action where the movements are more than just Mexican boxing. Like the Mexican, like get in and bang and be heavy and work them. They move. They do a lot of counter fighting. And last night, he really put it on fucking Volkanovski. He did not really it was a close fight though. He was using a pretty solid. Remember I texted you guys in the middle of the night?
That wasn't a close fight.
No, it was good. Like it straight up.
It was good. No,
it was
don't get me wrong. It was good, but I don't think it was a close fight.
No, okay. So like if you break it down, Derpy, are you into fighting much or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you probably just don't take a nap, you little guy. Take a nap, you little bit. I'm watching you, Derpy.
Taking a nap for sure.
Yeah, you're like, I'm taking a nap. If you break down the fight, I know we don't have it in front of us, and I don't want people to go back and watch it or anything like that. But Volkanovski did very well with pulling Diego towards him, and then when he would break that range, he would throw the overhand, catch him, and do some stuff. But in the rules, when a lot of the judges, this is how it is in Texas a lot. Vegas, they probably already have it switched up because there's so much more, not entertained, but educated by it,
Mhm.
is there is who controls the center of the ring, right? And Diego fucking controlled the entire time. He never backstepped. He was always moving forward, putting pressure on Volkanovski. In fact, Volkanovski towards the last like 2 rounds looked like he was running away from him. Would engage and run. Would engage and run. Would engage and run.
Well,
even in like the last,
he was bleeding his face off. I mean, you can't bang with
no. That's why.
Like,
but the thing is. You have to remember when sometimes the judges, it determines who's judging, right? But
I get it. Yeah.
The judges will see that he's moving, even though it's strategically right, because Volkanovski was doing the right thing. He can't fight an inner game with a taller guy who can hit you hard.
Yeah.
And Diego there were parts where Volkanovski would drop, he would throw the knee. So he was catching where his head was dipping off the side, throwing the overhand. And so Diego was lining him up to all those hits. And he was like, it was always like inches, like an inches game that he was almost catching him. Yeah. So Volkanovski could not give him the opportunity to like, okay, well, let me stand and bang with him because he's going to get caught some way or another, because Diego's smart on the inside because he likes to fire crazy. Even towards the end, he tried to do the whole Max Holloway moment, and he was like, "Yo,
let's go."
And Volkanovski was like, "Okay," and then he still moved back.
Yeah,
but Volkanovski still bitch. But yeah, he's not going to do that.
This is for the belt. This is for the
title. Yeah, you're not going to risk it.
Yeah, you're clearly ahead. So this is my only. And listen, I've never stepped foot in the octagon, so I can't be hypercritical about anybody. My only observation when it comes to Lopez is that he still has a lot of learning to do. Yeah.
And what's crazy, and we were just talking about that too. He's only been in it for like 2 years in the UFC.
2 years.
Dang, dude, to be up to that level already in 2 years?
I don't understand why he first off, he never established a kick until like the last two rounds.
Yeah.
You have the height advantage. I would think that should be like something that you rely on.
That was Patty. Patty and Chandler, he established kick right at the beginning. He started taking his legs out. He knew he was going to rest. And that's the thing. I think Lopez was worried that Volkanovski would take that and run him and take him to the ground and start grinding on him. So he just kept center pipe every time he would come in, straight pipe. And I don't know if you noticed, and this is really, really cool. And I called this when I texted you guys about it, when I was like, man, he's using a really messy, dirty boxing technique, right?
Yeah, you did say that.
Now, I don't know if you caught what he was doing, but I'm going to explain this just super fast so that way you guys can see what's crazy. I'm going to back this up a little bit. So there were times when he's fighting and he's extending the jab, and you would see him throw and kind of like bring his hand down weird. And he was throwing the punch real like not technical, right? So he's here, he's pulled back, and he's firing, and he's swinging the punch downwards. And what he's doing is he was hitting Diego Lopez was using that as a technique to do dirty boxing in MMA by hitting Volkanovski with the inner knuckles that aren't padded.
Yeah.
So you can't throw that straight down the center because it pulls on the wrist and it breaks your wrist back, and you mess your whole entire like wrist area up. But if you bring it down like a knock, like you're knocking on a door, it reinforces to hit hard. So in I don't know if it was the beginning of the fourth or the beginning of the third, Diego throws the punch and hits Volkanovski like right on the eye, dude, real dirty.
Opened his eye up.
Yeah, right on the next break, you saw the fucking lump, dude, on his eye, real dirty. And it's because he was using a dirty boxing technique to hit with the flush knuckles, not the padded ones. And the only other person that used to use that very prominently was Chuck Liddell. When he would bring the guy in and hit him on the outside, he was hitting him with those inner knuckles so that way he could tag him like a bare knuckle hit.
Yeah.
So like that was the dirty box. I thought that was super dope. I was like, wow, this kid's like, he knows some shit, dude. He knows some shit.
He knows some shit, but he's not fast enough for like he caught Volkanovski.
Yeah.
But that spinning kick that he tried like twice, bro. He needs to ditch that from his.
That was dirty. That was gross, dude. It wasn't even good technique.
Yeah,
it wasn't even tall enough. It like aimed like chest level.
Yeah, he needs to ditch that. If you're gonna go toe to toe with a guy like Volkanovski, and another thing is that Lopez, he does not need to worry about a takedown from Volkanovski. Like that was just, there was no way that was gonna happen. Like there was just too big of a size. He was too far out. So like he needed to like establish that kick and gain some points that way, bro. Like he was just getting tagged like relentlessly, and then he just he countered really well.
He was taking a lot. He was taking the jabs. He was taking too much.
he was just taking too much.
And,
Like you can't.
He was giving points away too, but like
That's
just taking a punch and not doing anything. He's giving a lot away.
He was giving way too many punches back.
And he wasn't now the person that I think stole the show that night, two fighters, Patty the Batty,
1,000%.
and that Silva guy, even though it's kind of like low down, Silva did really, really solid. That Mitchell guy, I know a lot of people don't like him, but
I didn't know about him until afterwards.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
he's a wild motherfucker, dude.
That guy's a piece of shit. Holy shit.
He's a fucking wild dude, man. He's like fucking Beverly Hillbillies or whatever the fuck he's doing in life. But I mean, the guy can fight, but he definitely didn't show it last night. Super stiff, super emotional. He was really pumped, and I think that's what fucked him up the most is that he was trying to like run at an emotional level that was high paced, but his body doesn't keep up with it and stay comfortable. Then Silva was just like, all right, dude, let's fucking bang, dude. Like, I like to fight. I can take a hit. Like, let's go. Mm-hmm. And that was a fantastic fight. Caught him with a really nice armless Darce. I know a bunch of weird guys call it like a ninja choke, but that's not what it is. It's just a Darce without the arm connected. So usually with that movement, you catch the arm and the shoulder.
Yeah,
this time he just caught it at just the neck. Same thing. And that fucking choke is ugly, bro.
Yo, yeah. When I was watching him do that, I'm like, I'd rather get punched in the face than be on the ground.
That is the fucking, that feels like someone's tearing your fucking head off, dude. Like, it's just the ugliest vice grip. But what a fucking beautiful, like, and even to understand how tight the choke gets, there's only a couple seconds he had that guy in the 15 seconds and he was out. You've seen it in like guillotines where people are holding it and they're like struggling, and then 30 seconds in, and then they're tapped. This was like just fucking boop, 15 seconds in, and the guy was done.
When I saw his head twist, I cringed, bro. Like that.
He was going nowhere, dude. He was rolling without his shit, dude. He was rolling that. Yeah, beautiful fucking choke. Chrissy, what's up? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Chrissy?
We're just talking about the UFC fights from last night. But yeah, like I said, I think the showstopper last night was Patty. I think he put on a marvelous show. I think this kid is going to be there for years, dude. I think. And
I got a bone to pick with you before you go on, bro, because you try to tell me that he's always been that big, and I'm calling bullshit.
Well, he was never that the fact that he's because this time he's strength trained. Most of the time with Patty does,
bro.
But it's because of the fact that for the last couple of years, I don't know if you're familiar with all the stuff that's been going on. Everyone picks on him because of his off-weight season, because he usually gets pretty
fat.
chubby.
He gets fat.
Yeah, he usually gets pretty chubby, and he just goes out there and indulges, and then he drops a bunch of weight. And for years, his coach has been telling him, like, we tell him, and he just fucking eats. Like, he just likes to indulge. And even to find you, I've seen this guy come out like on food challenges of like the grossest foods, like oh, here's a 75-pound fucking English hamburger. Who can finish it in 10 minutes? And you're like, that's gross, dude. Like, and Patty's there like, yeah, boy. And I'm just like, that's gross. So he's just an indulging guy. But it's like I've said before, he's a diamond, dude. Like those kind of guys that know how to scrap and fight at birth, and they've been doing it their whole lives. All you got to do is grab that guy off the ground and do this. Shine him up, and he's fucking ready to bang anybody in the thing. He's got a high fight IQ because he just knows how to naturally fight. Yeah, he's not an athlete first and then a fighter. He's a fighter first that's turned into an athlete. Yeah. But he's been like super chill these last couple of years, and I think like him getting picked on and everybody being like, oh, well, fucking Patty's just a one-trick pony. He's a fat dude. He comes in and just bangs. He's gonna just get out of it because he sucks. I think the Chandler fight was a really good test for him to show people like, hey, you guys think I'm fucking fake and that I fuck off all the time on off season? Well, if you want me at fucking full attention, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. And the other fight, when he fought the other guy first, the last guy, he fought some black dude, right? And the black dude and him, like, they were fucking at each other, bro. Well, even before, like on commentary, they were like, nah, fuck you, you're fake. The dude was calling him out, gotcha, man. And Patty was like, I'm gonna make a fucking example out of you. And Patty got him bad, dude. If you go back and watch that fight, he was in control the whole fight. I think he even knocked him out with like a triangle choke armbar like modification. Yeah, and was literally like, "Get up, dude! You fucking said me like I couldn't do it. Get up."
I think that it needs to be pointed out, and I think you kind of touched on it, that this kid has just been doubted and seen as like a joke in the UFC. And so when and like you said, he's always been like ripped, right? And he's always had like almost zero body fat on him. But when I saw him last night and he looked like 2x what I usually see him in. I
Huge,
knew
bro.
that Chandler was he was gonna have a problem with his hands,
His
bro.
chest muscle, shoulder development,
His
like
back,
he
dude,
looked,
like his
yeah,
back
huge,
was
bro.
gigantic, bro. I was like, this guy's gonna have a long fucking night, bro.
Yeah. It was crazy because, like I said, like I remember when he was fighting that other guy in the previous fight. I remember when Joe Rogan or one of the guys was like, "Bro, I didn't know Patty was this big. I didn't know Patty's huge." And he was like, "You look at the size, and it looked like the Chandler. Like, dude, it looked like he just.
And he's
looked
tall
like,
too. He's
yeah,
5'5". He's like 5'10", 5'11", bro. So he's a big
he's huge
motherfucker,
for the
bro.
division. It's huge. He's got it. He has the formula, and like I said, he likes to bang. And I think Biggie in our chat sent us the Colby Covington.
I sent that. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about that? Like, do you
Colby
think
just
Covington
trying to stay relevant, man.
Okay. He's trying to stay relevant, but do you think that Patty would be able to take on someone like that?
Yeah, straight.
think so?
Because he's got wrestling. Like Patty has like maybe like a 20-30% wrestling factor, where Colby Covington's got a huge wrestling, 75, 80, D1 wrestler. Like he's up there. But Patty, what he's shown us is that he's good at the defensive wrestling, but he's got chaining for jiu-jitsu. Like he chains movements together. If he gets rolled, he's got another one. He gets chained, he got another one. It's not like a transition, he's struggling and then he gets something.
Yeah.
It's like he has a setup for the next like transition. He's smart.
Him going up top on Chandler and like slam. I was like,
oh, bro.
Once he slammed him, I was like, all right, this fight's over, bro.
Yeah. I mean, even the concept of when you would see Chandler try to work some type of wrestling and Patty had an answer for it.
He
answered everything. And
immediately.
There was no backup. Yeah.
Immediately.
And Chandler, and if you break it down, and I talked to the guys about this last night, Chandler is a legacy character. Yeah. He fights like Sean Strickland. I don't know if you remember Sean Strickland back in the day, the Muscle Shark. And that dude was like, you put him in a straight line, Chad Mendes, you put him in a straight line, they're gonna run you through. They're gonna grab you, they're gonna put you on the ground, they're gonna fucking grind your ass. And Chandler is very much in the same format as those two guys through Legacy. Those, like the Chad Mendes characters, the guys that are just like muscle guys, they grab you, they throw you, they throw you around because of how strong they are. And he got dominated.
Easily.
And you know what? I'll call this right now. Patty right now would kick the shit out of Conor McGregor. He would beat the living fuck out of Conor McGregor.
Like his come up right now reminds me of a younger Conor McGregor.
But a right-minded Conor McGregor. Yeah. Like one of them that's humble, does the right things, yes sir, no sir kind of kid.
I will never, and I knew that Patty was good like on his feet. Mm-hmm. I totally underestimated, and I know that he's known for his ground game, but that was on display last night, bro. Whenever he had Chandler on the ground, Chandler was in a bad spot, bro. And he opened his face up, bro. Chandler looked bad, dude.
The only other thing that caught my attention last night that's going to change the game dynamically is they removed the legal action of firing from a 12-6 on the elbows.
Okay, yeah.
So they removed it. They didn't used to allow like hammering from 12-6. That was even here in Texas. So to see that, like, man, from one day to the next, like just watching dudes like boom right in the tricep.
How do you block that, bro? Like, how do you block like 3 of those in a row? You can't. You can't.
The same way they used to tell us to dodge nuclear weapons, you crawl under a table and shit. Like it's nuts, dude. I remember, I don't even know what fight it was. I think it was Silva and Mitchell or whatever. And I saw Silva drop it right on him when he was like in a bottom position.
Yeah.
And I looked at my pro fighter. And I was like, there's no way they're not going to call that. That was a 12-6. That's fucking illegal. And then my other student, that's a younger kid, was like, no, coach, they removed that law. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And the next time, boom. And you see it like when the guys, like, they have the head low, like they have them in a clinch, and they're hitting like right on the back side of boom. Just, oh, dude. I was just like, this is a fucking game changer, dude.
Again, I rather get hit straight up down the middle,
punch, dude,
with a punch, than be on the ground and someone driving their fucking elbow into your face.
Treating you like a fucking karate demo thing at the Boys and Girls Club, breaking fucking boards and shit. Lit on fire and shit.
I may be able to block one, but when you got like 2, 3, 4 of the motherfuckers backing that one up, One of them's gonna land, and it's gonna fuck up my night. My
Like
night
for
is
us,
gonna be
it's called
over.
a 50-50, but can you imagine being like in a low fetal kind of position, clinched into the arms and legs, and someone drops one of those like right on the center of your ribs on the side,
breaking
fuck
all your
that,
ribs
dude.
in one shot?
Fuck
I'm good.
all of that shit. No, I ain't here for that. But yeah, it was a good fight. Miguel says, I've never seen anyone beat Chandler like that. It was crazy. 100%. But yeah, thanks for guys letting us catch up. I wanted to talk because, of course, we love our MMA. I am kind of casually in the sport. Kind of casual. Brian, I was telling Brian earlier about all the fun shit I got coming up. But yeah, I really enjoy being able to watch it and talk with my friends about it too. So it's always the best and stuff. So yeah, now we're gonna get right into the talks, guys. Derpy, come back. Stop napping on the job. Stop sleeping on the job, Derpy. But we're gonna go ahead and get into our next part. Yeah, come back, baby. All right, so guys, just letting you know, we have something that we're gonna be doing tonight that's kind of special, kind of a new experimental thing that we're gonna try tonight. If I'm not mistaken, Derpy and Brian can tell me if I'm not telling the truth, but we do have the premiere of Last of Us Season 2 dropping tonight, right, Derpy?
Yes, it dropped an hour ago.
No, it's already out. So it's already out. So what we're going to be doing is about 9:30, 9:35, getting close to that time. We're going to call our show for the night, and we're going to be doing a watch party.
Yes, sir.
That Derpy, I believe, Derpy, you're going to drop in the comment section where people, if they want to join us, they can watch alongside and stuff like that. So that way we can all be together and we can all kind of, they can listen to us. But we want to do like a live reaction with you guys. We've always talked about doing something like this before. We've never known how we could do it. Derpy approached us and was like, yo, I have an idea. Would you guys be down? And 100% we were like, well, we've never done it before. Let's give it a chance. Yeah, like what's it gonna hurt, right? We already come in here and we talk a lot of crazy nonsense with our homies and stuff. Derps, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for everybody already.
Pin it.
Is that good?
Yeah, just pin it in the comments instead of dropping.
Yeah. Everyone that's listening, everyone that's watching, like Chris said, we have been talking about doing this for a while. Mm-hmm. If you guys are enjoying anything and if you guys are fans of The Last of Us, like we are, come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. We'll be able to watch it, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and just come watch with us and have fun. Yeah, it's a new experimental thing we're giving a chance to. We're really excited to give it a try. We've always wanted to find different ways to interact with everybody and let people know how we approach television shows when we all get together and we talk our shits on our own. So it just gives another dynamic and another entrance to be a part of our lives with this. So again, we put the chat's comment links in all three, so you guys go check it. And yeah, it'd be really, really nice. So we're gonna do that about 9:30, 9:35, maybe 9:40. We'll jump off and we'll set it. But let's go ahead and get back into our conversational pieces. Again, watch party tonight, guys. Don't forget, come join us. Yeah. If anything, I can make a little banner. But boys, let's talk about some stuff. Let's go. First off, Fantastic Four. A little bit of drama that we heard this past week. Of course, Marvel's got a lot of motion going on. They got a lot of things happening. We got the Thunderbolts coming up, a lot of the RDJ talks, a lot of pictures coming out. We had the chair trailer that popped off a couple of days ago for Secret Wars and Doomsday and all that shit. Right now, there is a predicament that came up. There was an interview done with the Fantastic Four. Brian, Derpy, I don't know if you guys got to see it, but I did not see it. The conversation that was brought up was the lady that is going to play the Fantastic Four wife, Sue Storm, came in and said that the character is going to be trying to understand more gender relative situations and bring in a lot of talks of like, some of the current topics that the war suffer or the world is kind of like bringing up in conversation and things. And then I think the young people will call that being a boss bitch. A boss bitch. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. And then of course, like the Johnny Storm character, the Human Torch, they approached the guy who plays him, which is the guy from Stranger Things, really, really popular during the Stranger Things. Everyone loved him. Now he's going to be literally the comic book version of a heartthrob that everybody was like, whoa, Chris Evans used to be this guy too. Like, but he was talking about how he thought the character being very womanizing and all this stuff would be very unclassy or something he wouldn't want to do. And he's decided to approach it in a different way. How do you guys think about these two
ideals when it comes to the Marvel landscape, where we have these established characters that have been there for years, that have been done a certain way, and how do you think it changes the character?
Derpy, I'm gonna have you answer this first, because you are, out of the three of us, you are from a younger generation. So I want to know what your thoughts are as concerning Marvel taking this approach on a beloved character and his background.
I feel like movie fans are tired of this shit.
Expound,
Yeah, you're gonna have to expand a bit, man.
Do I dare to say the word? Do I dare say the word?
As long as it's not like bad, like, you know what I mean?
No, I know what word I know what word he's about to say. I know what word he's about to say. I'm gonna disagree. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna disagree, but go ahead, say it.
Woke.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay, what is it? I didn't hear him. Yeah, I didn't hear it.
He said the word woke. So all right. So okay. I'm gonna pull a little bit more from you, because you are a man of very few words, Derpy. Expound on that. You say that it's some woke shit. You're tired of it. Tell me what exactly you're tired of. Is it specifically Marvel? Is it entertainment, Hollywood in general?
Yeah,
what about this?
Because even in factor of it, Derpy, like, you're not wrong. Like, this has been one of the biggest critical concerns that people have had about Hollywood.
That's why nobody's going to see the movies.
Yeah, but in current situation, like, the way that they approach this, and they're talking about what is it that like, in the concept of it being woke, that is fearful, or that makes you think like, oh, they're gonna fail, they already fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think it is that they're gonna do that's wrong in your factor, or where do you think that it's going to kind of like go bad?
If from what I'm hearing, if this is what they're going to go in the direction of Sue Storm, that's mainly my problem with it.
Okay. So you have a problem with Sue Storm, but not the.
I mean, yeah, that too. It's, but mainly Sue Storm.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought you'd had more of a problem with Johnny Storm,
Johnny Storm, right?
Because
that's what I feel
Johnny too?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're basically, like Chris just said, that it historically he's been like the womanizing guy, and they're taking a different approach with this movie, and that he's not going to be that kind of a character. They're going to take a different approach. I don't want to say retconning him, but they're going to take it a little bit easier.
They're going to just do something different.
It's a little bit more digestible for the new world that we live in. How do you feel about that? Yeah.
I knew they'd fuck it up.
Okay.
I knew they would fuck Fantastic Four up.
So you do think that this is a big issue?
Yes.
You know who Derpy reminds me of?
Tell me.
John McClane in The Fifth Element or whatever, when the guy goes and asks him a question, and he's
Bruce
always
Willis.
like, yeah, well, what was his character's name? I fucking forget. Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas. Come on, bro.
Corbin Dallas. What do you mean by woke, Corbin Dallas? What do you mean, Corbin Dallas? And then Derpy comes up and goes, it sucks. and then fucking what's it? Chris Rock comes in and he's like, and back to you guys. My man, Corbin Dallas, my man, Corbin Dallas. I love that guy. I love that.
I'll piggyback off of.
Well, I mean, I'll jump in.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
By all means, go for it.
I have my concerns.
Okay,
and the reason why I have my concerns is, again, the idea of like, I don't quite understand what she means that they're going to get into a psychology of like genderism or understanding genders and this quality. Sue Storm has always been a great mother figure, bad support character in the Fantastic Four, right? She's just the wife of Reed Richards. And for the beginning of it, it was very similar to the way it was with the Wasp and Ant-Man. Ant-Man would come in and do some shit. The Wasp would come in and shoot some little bolts and fly around, and it was cute and all this stuff. Later on, when they did the whole him changing shape, got him to be physical, and then he hits the Wasp character, changed the dynamic of the whole story, right? Of the Wasp character and his relationship. Now everybody would never put down the fact that Hank Pym is a fucking wife beater, right? I kind of see it in the same format with Reed Richards and Sue Storm. There were moments where Sue Storm would just go, I'm going to make myself invisible. And then someone would fucking bang. Oh, no. And then I'm going to put this guy in a bubble. And then he gets out of the bubble, hits, Reed, and Sue, get out of the way. And he just stretches and punches someone. And Sue was always this wham background character because it was like, woman, you got Thing, super strong, torch, projectiles, and fireballs. She literally would just hold people. Someone would break out of it because they were strong and she would fall on the ground and have a headache and be like, oh no. And then they would save the day, damsel in distress. It wasn't until later on in the comics, like in the 80s or the 90s, that Sue Storm was like, yo, fucking, I'm a woman, hear me roar. I'll put one of these bubbles in your brain and blow your fucking shit up. And someone was like, whoa, where did that come from? Like, well, I knew you could do that because that's what everybody would say they would do. But like, yo, you're supposed to be like real, like, hands off. You're a lady, a petite lady. Like, you're not supposed to do these crazy things. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way they handled the character through the years. And I feel like that added to those moments of strength for her character, or when she showed her heroism being a mother to the children, and she would pop off, or like the head of the family as the woman, and come and save the day and fuck people up. I think those favor in the character's story and dynamic of change. I feel if you come in and the character is already a girl boss, like the way a lot of people say or whatnot, it kind of takes from the factor of anybody needing to say them. That was like a big talk about Snow White, right? Derpy, you saw Snow White, right?
Why are you gonna put me on the spot like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on fucking spot.
I saw yesterday. I saw yesterday too. Yeah.
Okay, so there is a part where they kind of like put her in a position, but she kind of gets out of it on her own. She doesn't really need the guy to come and save her. Yeah. It kind of fundamentally changes the old school role of like the hero coming in to save the damsel in distress. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm not a kid. I don't know what's the thing anymore. I just know that during my time, that's the way it was. That was the format, right? And I was comfortable with it. Now it changes.
Brian, I didn't even get to what you thought about that movie.
Yeah, but he barely saw it yesterday. I didn't even know he saw it. But we'll get into it a little bit. I'm gonna let you go.
Go finish.
Does that fundamentally change how Reed Richards is willing to conquer the world for the love of Sue Storm? Because there is the Reed of Richards, or the Council of Reeds, where all of the Reeds in that comic book were like, oh, we said fuck our families and we wanted to save the galaxies. And our Reed was the only one was like, well, fuck you all. I love my wife. And then he fucking let all of them, get cooked by the fucking crazy Celestials or whatever. That was fundamentally his personality trait. Was he was a loving husband. He was willing to do anything for his wife. And Sue Storm, knowing that she could show her strength, but when she didn't have that, her husband would come and save the day. Which I don't feel like that's a bad story, because growing up as a man, I know that's what our fundamental structure was supposed to be, the protector of our family. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was a good learning lesson as a child, as a man child or a boy or whatever, to understand what it's like to be the man of a family. Yeah. I mean, does that make sense?
It makes total sense. I'm kind of wait, were you finished with your thought? Because I
don't really know, because I don't really know what else they said about her character.
I get what you're trying to say, and I'm going to that's fine. I'm going to agree and then disagree on one thing. So when it comes to the whole woke thing, this is my thing, and I think it pertains specifically to Marvel. Listen, you have such a huge fan base at this point when it comes specifically to the MCU. You're not gonna be able to satisfy everybody. You're gonna have to pick a side. You're either gonna be woke or you're gonna be non-woke at this point. And they have taken a stance that they are going to be on the side of woke. Now, as fans, we have a choice on whether we're going to support that or not support it. I don't think there's going to be an in-between that satisfies both. But I will agree with you on one thing, Chris, and this was going to be my main point about this entire thing. Although it doesn't concern me about Sue Storm or even Johnny Storm, my concern is that it's going to have an effect on Reed Richards. And I think that would be a problem, because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the Jonathan Hickman run on Secret Wars,
Mm-hmm.
Reed Richards is as important as anybody in that story.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't. I don't want to. I don't want him to be in the shadows of Sue Storm just for the sake of just for the sake of the narrative of the world that we live in.
True.
I'm all for changing the story and making her a vocal point. I'm not a big fan of that 1950, 60.
Yeah. I don't want to make her look like a bitch, dude. You know what I mean?
Like
she doesn't
just
deserve that.
put up a force field and somebody breaks that and now she's incapacitated.
Incapacitated and stuff.
I'm not really for that. I think that would just be a waste of a character and a waste of our time, to be honest with you. But I also think that you can, if there's a way that they can do that, but not kind of for lack of a better term, bitch out Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I think that they should, especially when it comes to this movie, Fantastic Four, I think that should be the focus. If you're gonna give her more of a highlight, you're gonna have to elevate Reed Richards even more. You can't just have him be this geek that allows his wife to be the focal point, like, because then by the time Doomsday comes around or Secret Wars, we're not going to care about him, and that's going to be a bad look.
Because what's crazy is I've considered this in the last couple of like months, right? The Fantastic Four in the recent times in comic books in the last like 5 years has been the God family. And they call them the God family because they literally are so fundamentally strong and OP that they create the entire landscape of the Marvel universe. Literally, their child is God incarnate. He's God incarnate. How do you portray a Sue Storm to be dignifiably a strong woman, a mother figure that's strong and capable of carrying the family, and at the same time having a husband who is not just important or even more important than Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man character in one film and then in like 3 years? How do you establish?
I got it. So if you're gonna go down this road, at some point we're gonna have to get Malice. We're gonna have to get Sue Storm's Malice.
The Sue Storm evil one.
Yeah, I think that if you want to go down this road to make her a significant player in this, to where she's like in charge and she's just a no nonsense person, you're gonna have to take it all the way, because you're gonna have to elevate Reed Richards even more. So I think, if you go down this road, in order for you to feed the normies, the sweats, I think the easiest way to go about that is to kind of lead the breadcrumbs to ultimately get a Malice.
Do you think, like, because that's a fast move, because that gets established later on in her character development, and when they want to kind of like detail more personalities into each one of the Fantastic Four characters, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good move for them to establish that, like, maybe if they go Secret Wars Hickman's run and they do the whole Reed Richards kind of like pushed out, Doom has his family, that Sue Storm that's with him is kind of like the Malice character already.
Exactly.
She's like an evil queen, but she's kind of like living that format, super dedicated to Doom. Like, okay, I can see that. I can see that.
So we see that boss girl mentality evolve into the Malice
character. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm down. That sounds cool. Like I think that's a great move, actually. I think 100% that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the Johnny Storm thing?
Again, when it comes to the Johnny Storm thing, I think that we're gonna have to just see how that plays out. I don't want to condemn them for being woke or for making Johnny a beta male type thing. I got to see it first to see how they do it, and then if that's what they do, I'll come here and say, you know what, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I think that they, at least for me, in my opinion, they deserve the right to, because listen, we see how Marvel is acknowledging more of the actors' inputs on these characters. Like The same thing with Punisher and Kingpin, and they thought that the characters were written wrong, so now they had some input. Give this guy his chance as well, and so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, because the thing that kind of gets me is like, okay, the trait of Johnny Storm in the comic books being this like player, yeah, that kind of thing, it really does like exuberates his character.
That's his whole personality.
Sacrifice when he sacrifices for the greater good, and he's that like, you're not the guy to lay on the line bullshit from Captain America. Like he is 100% like, nah, I ain't gonna do that shit. Fuck that noise. That was, I don't know if you remember this, or if Derpy, or if our fans watching, that was the second Fantastic Four, the first Fantastic Four movie, when Johnny Storm gets, it's the second one, when he gets all the powers.
Yeah.
And then he has to kind of like use Thing's punch and Sue's thing, and everyone's like, "Go get him, Johnny!" Like, and the whole movie was just Reed Richards being like, "Shut up, Johnny, you're a bitch." Like, "Oh, you just care about yourself." The whole movie, and you can see where Chris Evans' character is kind of like, "Man, dude, like, man, fuck y'all. Like, I'm not like that. Like, am I really like that?" Like, he was kind of like trying to find himself. And in the comic books, there's a lot of big points like that in the comics. That's like when he dies to what's the dude from the Negative Zone? Kind of remember the Nova guy. There's a really big villain. I can't remember the Annihilus Wave.
Annihilus Wave.
Yeah, he literally forces all the people into the portal, and then he closes the portal, and it's just him fighting the entire wave of the Annihilus Wave. And the Annihilus Wave, just to put into perspective, if you don't know comic books, it's literally like if you have like a little like piece of fruit and all the ants come and they just fuck it up, dude, real quick. Yeah. That's what the Annihilus Wave is. And you just have this dude that can literally just burn. I mean, don't get me wrong, like burning almost to like the fucking surface of the sun it's a pretty G-ass power, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he can't run it for too long. He cups out, and then he's fucking tired and he's done, and he's got his limits. And he dies in a pretty fucking G way,
awesome,
man. But
awesome way.
Yeah, like it really gravitates towards the idea of that wasn't who he was. Mm-hmm. And then when he dies and you realize like he knew what he was. He knew he was a hero all along. Like, you're reading the book and it'll tear you up, dude. It really will fuck you up, because it caught a lot of us comic book readers when it happened.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing. I think that you can get there and achieve that same emotional pull without
like shit.
Yeah, like
I get that.
Yeah, you can still be the bravado, arrogant son of a bitch. But I mean, if you want to take out, listen, I'm all for it. If you want to make him the playboy, womanizing guy, I'm all for it. But you're gonna have to acquiesce to the times that we're living in. And again, somebody's gonna get pissed off. You're not gonna be able to satisfy everybody. We are too far beyond that. The world is just too divided. So you're gonna have to pick and choose what you want to do. I think they're gonna be able to achieve that same feeling that you got reading that comic or mm-hmm. understanding that sacrifice that he made. You can do that without him banging all the chicks, bro. I think that there's a way to do that.
100%. They did it with Joseph Quinn in Stranger Things.
True. Same thing.
They literally did. Yeah, he went out like a G, dude. Everyone loves his character in that film. And it wasn't even on the factor of, because what they ployed with was the idea that this person was not courageous. Mm-hmm. They really just made a character who was just wet. Selfish. Like, he's just like super selfish, cares only about himself, doesn't save others. He only wants to save himself. Like, he wasn't about sacrificing anything for the greater good of mankind. And at the very end, he saves like the only other weakest character who's grown into this strong character. Mm-hmm. But that character now looks up to him, and he has to be like, this strong character that used to be weak, now look at Justin's character now looks up to me. How do I, just doing Dungeons and Dragons and acting cool, like how do I mentor this person, or how do I be this hero?
I'm gonna pull out this guitar and play some fucking
do some Metallica, baby.
Do some Metallica, baby.
Dude, that was dude.
That was epic. That should give me goosebumps. But yeah. It's basically the exact same thing. I think that they're going to be able to pull that off. I have faith that they'll be able to pull it off. And again, I reserve the right to watch it Yeah, to watch it, and then if I'm wrong and it doesn't hit me the right way, I'll come back in here and say I was wrong.
Well, it's like I have the right to hope. I'm a very I'll stand on this and be like, I just think it's really late for them to introduce the Fantastic Four right now. I think this should have been something they established a long time ago and maybe just sat on.
You said something that was very interesting, and I feel like I keep cutting you off, but you said that they're gonna have to do that quick when I mentioned Malice, but all of this is gonna be quick to add on to your point right now. Really everything that's gonna have to happen between now and next year is gonna have to be quick, bro.
Yep, because even with that, off the top, we just got leaked images today of some things that popped off, right? And some of them were, I'll put that up right now because I know Derpy was the one that kind of brought this up, but they released some photos from behind the scene for Doomsday. But we also got another scene, which I'm going to bring up in a little bit, but I'm going to find it first. But I'm going to let you guys talk about Derpy. Who were in the pictures that they released on the drop for Marvel behind the scenes? Who's everybody in the shots?
I have no idea.
What do you mean you don't have any idea? You know who they are.
I saw it briefly.
Well, for one, we know it's Wong and the old guy that used to play Cyclops from the first
James Marsden.
James Marsden, right?
Marsden.
So how do you say his name? James what?
Marsden.
Yeah,
Marsden.
I'm not gonna say that. Like I'm gonna say Marston. I'm gonna say it wrong on purpose because that's what
I mean. That's on brand. Yeah, that's definitely.
I was like, that's what I do. Let me go ahead and pick it up because we got him sent to us a little while ago from Derpy. Was it you who sent us, or was it Biggie? I think it was Biggie, right?
I think it was Biggie. Yeah.
Let me pick up Biggie's comics. But
Biggie's. So Derpy, have you seen the Doomsday leaks yet? Like I don't know if they're true or they're real.
I've seen some pictures, but I haven't seen anything like
concrete.
Yeah.
Derpy's my guy. He's my man in the chair, dude. He tells me everything. So here,
this is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, this is man. I'm so happy to see Magneto coming back. So have you, Brian? I mean, now that you've asked, have you heard like what they've concept is with the Magneto character and X-Men and all that stuff?
For him specifically, no.
Well, like the kind of like, because we've talked about it before. We covered it like a week ago that we were talking about the A versus X storyline and stuff. But are you aware on how they're approaching it?
Yeah, it's going to be. I think that what they're gonna do is they're going to try their best to have like a mashup of the '80s Secret Wars and then the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars. Are going to try to mash it up.
Yeah.
They're going to try to incorporate Time Runs Out. They're going to try to incorporate everything in a very short time, and also AVX. And I do think that this is going to be a situation where it's going to be X-Men versus Avengers as a subplot to the Doomsday
overarching story, right?
Overarching story, which I cannot wait for. Yeah. I think that this is just the tip of the iceberg with like the chair reveals. I think we're gonna get like a whole battle between the X-Men, the Fox X-Men and the MCU light, I guess. And I honestly, I know Triggs said that he could take it or leave it, but I think that's a pretty cool idea because otherwise we're never gonna get X-Men versus Avengers. We're never gonna get that.
So I think what's gonna happen, and it's crazy, is mind you that we have Masterson or whatever in this costume, and Magneto, Sir Ian McKellen, in the other costume. So this costume on the left is very similar to, isn't this what he wore when he went to the lake and Jean Grey like fucking killed him?
I don't remember what his outfit was, but this just reminded me one more thing because I was very interested in the X-Men versus Avengers run, and this would be a great way to bring back the Immortals because they were very intricate in Avengers versus X-Men, and they haven't done shit with them since then.
Or the Inhumans?
No. Well, the Inhumans as well, but also
Eternals.
I'm sorry, Eternals. I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah,
know why I
yeah,
said
yeah. I was kind of like Immortals. I was like, yeah. But I was like, Immortals, isn't that another group? But yeah,
brain
the
fart.
Eternals were there, right?
The Eternals were a huge part of that. They were like
I
the
remember
third.
Icarus was like on the cover,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah. They were like on the. They were like the third team that were involved in it, and they were kind of like in between trying to do that. So like that would be a great way to shoehorn the Eternals into
Back
the
to it,
system.
yeah, because they ain't got shit going on, right?
They don't. Yeah,
That's a good point. It's
Yeah.
a really good point. So what this reminds me of is the way it was with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
The costumes that I see here are very reminiscent right before these guys got taken out in some way. So James Masterson, he's wearing the costume from what it looks like when Jean Grey comes out of the lake and she disintegrates him using the Phoenix Force the first time, which everybody was upset because they killed him so fucking fast in that movie. Do you remember that or no?
Yeah, no, I remember that, but they brought him back. They brought
him back normal, like in the later sharings. But remember, he was wearing something like this similar, right?
Yeah.
And Magneto was wearing this when they did the movie where he crosses the Golden Gate Bridge. Remember?
Yeah, of course.
And he has all of the mutants that are revolting during the mutant Leech, Juggernaut. All of these characters are there, and he was with the Brotherhood of Mutants, right?
Yes.
And we heard that there's a concept that there's going to be some type of Magneto running the Brotherhood in some way that's kind of like reached the ears in some way of like the rumors and stuff. And it's the same costume, mind you. What if Doomsday like appeared during that time because that was like their incursion, or this is their anchor being?
Okay.
You know what if like the Cyclops at that time in that universe was
the anchor being?
Yeah, is the anchor being of that world. Then he removes that person. Then he takes it because they're so important. And then the Magneto running the Brotherhood is about to go to war with the X-Men, and he's about to lose his powers, which is a dynamic change in the character, and he removes the anchor being at that moment.
The only issue with that, I think that it was established in Deadpool and Wolverine that Wolverine was the anchor being
of his universe, where all of them died though.
I think this universe is the one where it's Logan. Like Logan is in this.
So this is all the same universe then, yeah.
Yeah, this right here, the X-Men universe, the Fox universe is the Logan universe. The Wolverine that we got in Deadpool and Wolverine is from a different universe, but this is this universe.
This is their version of the Marvel universe. So this is literally going to be like the way we all talked about it a long time ago, where it's the Fox IP of superheroes, versus the MCU IP of superheroes.
Yes,
and they're going to do the Secret Wars Ultimates versus the 616.
They're going to mash up. Yep, they're going to mash all that shit up. And I think that Doomsday is going to kind of take over the Black Panther role, where he's the one explaining the incursions and telling each other, like kind of putting each universe against each other.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you know how like Black Panther was the one to first witness.
Yeah, he broke into it.
Yeah, he
got the Illuminati together. He found the incursion. I think he found like 4 overall.
Yeah. So it'll be Doomsday that I think finds out about the incursions and then pits these two universes together. I think.
Well, I mean, mind you, in Secret Wars, right? If we break into the story, Black Panther does figure out the incursions, because I think like he's hunting with a group of people and like just some animal comes out of like a hole in the wall or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he goes to the hole, and when he goes, he sees like the planet of the incursion like circling around him.
Yeah.
And then he sees like, I want to say Black Swan and some other dude. And then they fucking blow that world up with like a fucking bomb or something like that. Like some Black Adam bomb, right?
Yes.
And then he beats the fuck out of them and captures them. And then, you know, that's when they do all the shit. But in that time too, I know Doom witnessed an incursion and had his like people in Sokovia or whatever, like already like breaking it down. It like they were already studying it. And I think he was the only one in that factor, which of course was right before Namor showed up and was like, "Yo, I need your help." And Doom was like, "Nah, fuck out of here. You should have came to me first."
Yeah.
Right before that, right? He establishes that he already mapped out the majority of all the planets across the multiverse that were incursioning. So he was already knowing almost by time where each incursion was going to happen.
Yes.
So Doom was like ahead of the curve before everybody else was.
And I think that's what we're going to get. I think that he's going to be ahead of the curve, and he's going to be the one to warn these universes that, hey, you guys are going to have to figure this out, or you guys are all going to die. And that's what's going to pit. That's how we're going to get the X-Men versus Avengers.
So let me ask you guys, here we go. We're looking at the photo of the apparent concept, I guess. I don't know what it is. It's a hidden scene of our Doomsday. Derpy and Derpy, can you see it? Brian, you see it?
Yes. I saw that. Yes.
Derpy, can you see it?
Yes.
All right, boys. I want to ask you, first thing that comes to mind when you see this stuff, like, what do you think?
It looks like Luke Skywalker.
Fuck, dude. Oh, yeah, you killed it, bro. Hit it right on the button. I automatically assumed Luke Skywalker. I was like, what the fuck is this? But, yeah, okay. So we got the first call out, Luke Skywalker. Derpy, Brian, what else, man? What do you think seeing this as
I don't think it's real because RDJ just took a picture of his like 60th birthday, I think it was. Yeah. And his hair was not like that. It's gray, but it's shorter. And I think that's going to be.
But it could be tailored. It could be like a wig or something or extensions. Like these guys got the money, bro. You know what I mean?
Maybe you're right. He looks more like a fucking Asgardian than Doom. Right?
Yeah, I could see that. The only thing that scares me about this, Derpy, I'm gonna let you jump on this right now too. Is there's a lot of attention of him without the mask on.
Okay.
They really did like, hey man, let's make him look hot as an old guy. Like make him look weathered and give him a badass, fucking long hairdo. This makes me think they're gonna have like that shitty nanotech mask shit going on for his character, and there's gonna be a lot of like him removing it, putting it on, him removing it, putting it on.
I mean, it makes sense. He is technically Tony. I mean, if what we're guessing, he is Tony Stark. So having the nanotech kind of,
I'm kind of worried about that because to me, like that takes away because Doom, mind you, like yeah, he has his like mangled face or whatever, but that mask is synonymous to who his character is.
I mean, I think we're gonna get the mask, dude. I don't think
But you don't think like with how much attention that they've done for his face here, that they're gonna do like the Kang shit, right? Because didn't that kind of take away from the character too with Kang? Like you're so used to seeing him in the comic book with like the badass like the stripes,
visor, and all that shit.
Yeah. There's something about it that's just so like I don't know, like it's superhero-ish storytelling or compelling. Like that one character that comes in a night outfit and he just has like the mask on, and then that mask for being that thing. And then like it moves between the character and this, and you're like, oh, well, he's got to sell the role, he's got to do this, and it's like, well,
you know what? I'm just gonna leave this with you, and then I'll let Derpy in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm hogging up all the time. But the one thing about someone like RDJ, especially if you're paying him all this money, you're not gonna have him fully in a mask. He's not gonna want to be in a mask all the time. He's gonna want to have his face out there. So you just got to keep that in mind. Although I am a big fan of the Doom mask, I think that's one of the most iconic comic book mask of all time. Yeah. You're still gonna have to keep in mind that Robert Downey Jr. is not gonna want to play in Doom in that mask the entire time. We're gonna get a lot of fucking Robert Downey Jr. without a mask in these movies. Derpy, what do you think about these leaks if they're true?
Yeah. Derp. Is he asleep again?
He's asleep. Yeah. He's asleep.
I'm sorry, that food was good. I'm crashing out.
Dude, this guy sleeps all the time, dude. So Derp, Brian asked the concept of like this with him being on, in the costume and, looking all like the older badass fucking, what is the most intriguing man in the world, the Dos Equis guy or whatever.
Are you supposed to be older in this?
What do you think of this? What do you mean?
Robert Downey is supposed to be older in this?
Well, this is supposed to be his Doomsday costume.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's supposed to be older in this. I don't know how I feel about that.
About him being all grayed out, right?
Right.
See, that's a good concept too. Like, why is now he grayed out? Like, does he come from an earlier time frame? A displaced time Robert Downey Jr.? A
Right.
stressed out Robert Downey Jr. maybe? Like, that's a good point.
So Derby, when you see that picture, how does it hit you? Like, are you? I guess a better question is, does this make you want to see this version of Doom any more than you already were anticipating?
It absolutely makes me not want to see it.
Oh,
damn, God. Damn. What if I were to say?
Wait, why? Because he's old.
Yeah, because he's old. I mean,
I don't know.
wrong, being old ain't no problem for Doctor Doom, but like,
what if this is who we're looking at? What if this is who we're looking at? So if what happens is after the new Secret Wars happens, Iron Man is missing or dead or whatever, that's when Riri Williams comes in and they establish a new Doctor Doom who is now Iron Man. And if you look at these costumes, I mean, that's pretty fucking spot on. If you look at it, a lot of silver, dark grays, the thing in the middle. I mean, dude, look at that compared to that. The cape even, I mean, yeah, we don't get a mask, but it is Robert Downey Jr. And if you look at the face here, it's more Iron Man-esque mask. That is, though, the Doctor Doom in that costume.
Wait, we're not getting a mask either?
A lot of people are going to hate that. I'm going to love it because I think it looks cool. But a lot of sweats.
No, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get a mask. We're definitely.
I was about to say, if we're not getting a mask, then yeah, screw this movie.
Yeah, you're like, that's a fucking major no for me, buddy. No, but we're gonna get a mask, right? But the concept is like we're talking about. They're probably gonna do the fucking nano machine. The mask comes in and off like all the time, like the way most of it. Because Brian makes a good point. You're not gonna pay Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey money if you're gonna fucking have him in a mask all day. You know what I mean? But I really think this is going to be this Doom, right?
You're right.
But it's going to be Iron Man as the character, which is just he's going to have the personality of Doctor Doom. So we're going to get Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man as superior Iron Man, but it's not Doctor Doom trying to be Iron Man. It's going to be Robert Downey Jr. himself.
And this is the thing I'm worried about. If that's the case, then moviegoers are going to be so fucking confused.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, dude. Like,
well, that's the issue with having Robert Downey Jr. as Doom in the first place. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna run into that regardless. So if you're gonna go down this road, you might as well just do whatever the fuck
hit the ground running, right?
Yeah, you might as well just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, this was a pretty, I'm going to say okay run, but not top of the line. This is what Doctor Doom for. They only did this because there was the fight between Riri Williams becoming Iron Man and someone else taking the mantle. And that was kind of like the only reason why it came through. But yeah, that's what I kind of feel like they're going with this character design for this guy. I could see that, but yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think? Pretty good?
I'm for it. Like I said, I'm for it only because I don't mind having liberty, but a lot of people are not kind of gonna like it. Yeah, they're not gonna like it.
Hey, well, we won't be able to really unlike it until we get there. That's all I know. We won't like it until we get at least a fucking trailer, dude. And I hope they're not doing the fucking Superman style trailer shits and they're not giving us anything. They got to give us something. But speaking of trailers, and speaking of things not working correctly and erectile dysfunction kind of stuff, Brian, Thunderbolts pre-sales.
Yes.
What do we got going on? Yay or nay?
I'm sorry. I heard what you said. I'm still looking for a character that I wanted to bring up, but I can't find him. Anyway, so yeah, it came out and it's been making the news that the pre-sales for Thunderbolts, which a lot of people have been anticipating and looking forward to, have not been good, to say the least. comes out that as of right now of this recording, the pre-sales looks like it's kind of tracking for like a $70 million opening
Release.
weekend.
That's weak, man.
And it's going to track, and right now it's tracking under Captain America 4, which has been unanimously known as a failure for Marvel. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts as to the Thunder? Well, first off, my first question is: were you looking forward to the Thunderbolts? And two, now hearing that it's not looking so good, box office wise, does that kind of make you feel any differently as to your anticipation towards this movie?
Derps, I'll let you go, dude. Derpy. I feel like I gotta constantly get at him, man. Because he's a busy dude, man. Derpy.
All right, well, Chris, just go ahead, just answer, and we'll
for me, I've been anticipating the Thunderbolt story. I'm a big Century fan. Yeah, come on, Derpy, man.
There was a delay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of. Well, Derpy, I'm gonna let you take it, so that way we can get some time in with you.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah, Thunderbolt pre-sales has been low. How do you feel about the anticipation of the Thunderbolts films, even though the ticket sales are kind of low?
It's gonna bomb.
Oh my God, Corbin Dallas, my man, Corbin Dallas. Explain yourself, Corbin Dallas. What do you think?
It's gonna bomb hard.
I mean, but
okay. So because you think it's gonna bomb hard, does that kind of change your perspective as to whether or not you want to see this movie or not, or you don't give a shit?
I don't give a shit.
Good answer.
You're not like a big Marvel guy, right?
I mean, I like Marvel, but I prefer DC. So, but I have no idea what the Thunderbolts are.
That's a really good fucking point, dude.
Okay, so I have a question. Being that you are a DC fan, do you think that the Thunderbolts being so close to Superman will have any effect? Being that the ticket sales are low, do you think that it's a superhero fatigue, like a comic book fatigue, or are you still thinking that Superman is going to be okay and this has no effect on Superman whatsoever?
Both.
Okay, what do you mean?
Both what you said.
You think that it's low and it's not going to have an effect on Superman whatsoever?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Okay, and there is superhero fatigue.
Yes.
Got it. So then what makes Superman so special then?
The one point you don't like, it being a James Gunn film.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
So you're banking that James Gunn is just his name alone is going to get people to come out and watch that movie.
Yes.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think James Gunn's got that kind of pull. I think he's like fucking, what was that guy? So me and Brian talk about this all the time, sometimes, most of the time, because Taika Waititi situation, right? Brian is a big fan.
James Gunn is not Taika Waititi.
Wait. First off, wait. Chris. One second. Derpy, I need you to adjust your tone when you speak of the great Taika Waititi. That's all I'll ask.
Yeah, because again,
James Gunn's not even close.
Are you saying that James Gunn's not close to Taika Waititi's level, or are you saying Taika Waititi's not close to James Gunn's level?
Careful how you answer this, by the way.
Yeah, because you need to, if so, you need to bring receipts or something, man. Wait, what did he say? He said James Gunn's bigger than him?
Yes, he did.
James Gunn talks about fucking kids in like 80% of his text messages, where Taika Waititi just makes bad jokes. Like they're in the same...
He made a Hitler movie. What do you mean?
What he definitely did.
That was
okay. Hitler movie aside, Jojo Rabbit aside, there is not one James Gunn comic book movie that's better than Thor Ragnarok. That's a fact.
I hate Thor Ragnarok.
You don't like Thor Ragnarok?
What?
Same as Thor 4. I hate them both.
Okay, Thor 4. Thor 4, I understand.
Vince is
Thor
like,
Ragnarok.
Zack Snyder's my guy.
Thor Ragnarok is a top 5 Marvel movie. Like,
Derpy, you're gonna have to bring some type of example because Thor Ragnarok literally changed the entire landscape of the Thor character and saved his character, and then turned into one of like the top.
They made him dumb.
7. No. Thor Love and Thunder made him dumb. Thor Ragnarok turned him into a good comedy, a Shakespearean comedy character.
I am shocked.
I hated Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, I mean, I respect that. Okay, wait, hold on. I respect that he can have his opinion about the movie,
but you hated it
because of the tone.
But you're gonna have to. Okay, what about the tone that you didn't like? I want to know. Like that makes me. That's intriguing because this is a different whole view on Thor Ragnarok because everybody loved Thor Ragnarok.
The storyline alone.
Okay,
it's my favorite MCU movie. Okay, so the tone. Okay, so I gotta get to the bottom of this because this is unacceptable. So, and we're sidetracking. So the tone, you thought it was too silly? Is that what it is? Yes. You thought it was too silly?
Yes.
I think that's the part that I liked about it. I mean, James Gunn makes nothing but silly fucking movies.
You're right, but it matters on the tone of what type of story you're telling. And the Ragnarok is a dark story, and you made it completely silly.
Okay, I think that I will combat that with, although you may think it's silly, I think that the story was one of the better stories of the MCU. And then not only that, but we got a badass fucking villain in Helena. So
yeah, Hela did really good.
Hela. So yeah, I think that I just can't get with what you're saying, bro.
Okay, so Derpy, where would you place? Oh man, this is gonna be great. Where would you place Thor Ragnarok in the landscape of the Marvel universe based by movies? Like between all the movies, I know there's a fuckload, so we can't go through all of them. But where would you put it in your rankings then?
I'm not saying it's not a bad movie. I'm just saying.
No, you said you hated it. You said you hated it.
I did say I hated it, but I'm not saying it's not a bad movie.
But where would you put it? Because there's like,
I'd say
there fundamentally is a higher echelon of Marvel films that a lot of people kind of like. You just can't touch them. Like these 5 or 6 or 7 movies like are up there, and you just can't dethrone them. And I feel like I would like to know where your opinion would be on where you would place Thor Ragnarok in like a 1 through 30 film, like in the top, maybe the top 15. Let's say it's top 15. In the top 15 films of Marvel that you believe, where would you place Thor Ragnarok? If because you're not saying it's bad.
But he said he hated it. I'm not letting that go. But before you answer that, I have one quick question that I need you to answer really quickly. What is your favorite James Gunn comic book movie? Which one?
Out of all of them?
Yeah, your favorite one. You have a lot to pick from. Okay. All right, fair enough. Now answer Chris's question.
It would be at 15.
It would be at 15?
15. I think it's like 30. There's 30, 32. There's 31. So so like mid tier basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's crazy, dude. I think that's crazy. It's kind of like, in my opinion, I think it's way higher. Like, I think it's way higher. I think it's at least top 10 at the max, top maybe 7 too. Like, I can't even think of, like, even off the top of my head, like, minus that I don't want to add Infinity War and Endgame to it because I don't think that's fair to add them into like the hierarchy. Like, oh, here's a ranking because those are like
when we're talking rankings,
basic ass Marvel movies. Like, like I would assume, I think ideally Ragnarok sits top 7. Rewatchability, fun, Chris Hemsworth at his max ability, not stupid, pushing the story of the overarching story in general. I think
they did the serious fucking Thor. They did the series and it sucked. It sucked.
Both of them sucked. 1 and 2 sucked.
Like, it needed to change, and I think Taika Waititi nailed it. So the reason why I asked you, and I'm sorry to step on your comment, Chris, but the reason why I asked you what your favorite James Gunn movie was Guardians 1, right? The original Guardians of the Galaxy, the Rotten Tomato score, which you can give or take, or it doesn't really give that much merit, but is pretty close. Thor Ragnarok is pretty close to Guardians, so they both got a 92 Rotten Tomato score. So like if you're gonna put Guardians above that, you're gonna have to put Guardians 1 as a mid-level movie as well. You have to.
It would be higher.
You're a man that makes no sense, but I respect it. A man that's gonna die on that hill. Thor Ragnarok is a way better movie than Guardians 1. There's nothing anybody can tell me worse anything about that, other than as far as depending on the day, the best MCU movie that's not an Avengers movie is either Winter Soldier or Thor Ragnarok. To me, that's just my personal opinion. And it again, depending on the day, the day that you hit me is going to change. But Thor Ragnarok is up there for me. That they and like Chris said, the rewatchability of that movie is crazy.
I haven't watched it since 2017.
Jesus.
No, and I understand, and I like it's your opinion on how you handle that, Derpy. But you can't deny the numbers. Like Thor Ragnarok is literally up there as one of the top Thor films, Marvel movies of all time. Like you go to any top 10 Marvel thing across the board in any site, and it's gonna Thor Ragnarok is gonna be up in that list at all times. So like you can hate it. I understand that. Like I think James Gunn is a huge piece of shit for all the shit that he did in the past. And people still hold me to that. Like, wow, bro, let it go. But when you tag a pedophile who then gets arrested for pedophilia, some shit. If I told people before, if I changed the thing, if I was neighbors to Jeffrey Dahmer, and I texted him months before he gets arrested for eating motherfuckers. And I text him and I go, man, that motherfucker looked tasty, didn't he, Jeffrey? Like weeks before that, someone's going to look at me and be like, nah. Fuck that guy. He knows some shit. He knows some shit. And that's why I think James Gunn's a huge piece of shit. I think he hangs out with a bunch of rapists and pedophiles. Can the guy make movies? Sure.
I was going to say, I was going to say, like, when it comes to art, you kind of have to detach the person that makes the art from the work of art, and I'm able to do that. I'm not a big James Gunn fan either, to be honest with you, but I do like some of his work. I just don't think,
I thought he did great with Guardians.
Yeah, I just don't think, and I was wrong. Guardians, Thor Ragnarok has a better Rotten Tomato score than.
But me and Brian have said this before, because Brian and I have argued about the Boondocks cartoon being an anime. R. Kelly, the motherfucker can sing, but he pissed on a kid once. Like, take his fucking phone. Don't give him a fucking video camera. Fucking introduce him to girls his age. We all know the fucking dude can drop an album and make platinum records, but fucking don't let him pee on kids. Like James Gunn, don't let him be inappropriate with people. Give the guy a fucking video camera, let him make movies, but don't let him be around other people in society if that's the case. Like,
Vince, since you're in the comments, I need to know. I just need a palate cleanser. I need to know, and this is probably going to backfire on me really hard because I don't know where you're going to go. You're pretty much
out of pocket all the time.
You're pretty much a wild card when it comes to this shit. I need to know, where do you put Thor Ragnarok? Do you put it in the upper tier, middle tier, or lower tier for MCU?
I don't respect him because he likes Snyder more than James Gunn.
I don't know if he's being serious though. I don't know if he's being serious. I don't know if he's being serious about it.
So you're not a Snyder fan then, right?
I hated Snyder's work.
Wait, so let me ask, what did you hate about Snyder's work? What did you not approve of?
I can't believe he's about to make me cape for Snyder, and I don't even like Snyder, but I'm gonna have to cape for him right now because Derpy's out of pocket.
Well, I mean, I get it. I understand.
I hated what they did to Batman and Batman vs Superman.
Okay. I mean, Ben Affleck for sure. Ben Affleck did a good job.
He did a good job, but I just
as Batman, but the fucking story was out of pocket for.
They did more for Batman than they did Superman in that movie. Batman looked like a fucking G in that movie. Superman looked like a bitch in that movie.
But that's even more to the argument of what Derpy's talking about. Like, again how they handled either one of those characters. You know what I mean? Like, one, you have Batman who can't figure out that, you know, he got stopped because Superman's mom's name is Martha. Do you bleed? And all this other shit. He was incapacitatable when it comes to like, yo, bro, just use your brain. You're supposed to be the smartest dude on the planet. Like, I'm being used by Lex Luthor. Like, we remember this. We talked about this a million times. But yeah, like, I get it. Superman wasn't catered to also. Why I didn't like Zack Snyder was the whole future thing, Superman turning evil, Batman fucking Lois Lane and them having a baby, and Superman having to raise it, and all of this like cuck shit. Like, I really don't. I mean, you can see it.
Just as a sidebar, Zack Snyder didn't write Batman versus Superman.
Oh, wow.
He just directed
it. Produced it or something, right?
He just directed it.
Oh shit.
Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer, those are the guys you want to be mad at.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Zack Snyder just directed it, which I think he did a good job. But yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a Zack Snyder guy when it comes to the DC. When it comes to DC, I don't think he did a horrible job. I think that Batman vs Superman gets a really bad rap. I think that the Justice League was a disaster. And that wasn't on James Gunn, and you know, I'm sorry, Snyder, that wasn't on him. And then when he got his bullshit fucking 4-hour movie, some people consider that as the best fucking comic movie ever to be made.
It was good, but nobody has 4 hours to live for to watch it again.
I agree. I think that's my knock on it. I think if you give anyone 4 hours to make a movie, they can probably do some really good work. But you know, it's a fact is a fact. A lot of people like that shit, and and again, I don't really like Zack Snyder at all, to be honest with you. I think he's overrated.
I hate his fans.
So then that's the argument. You cannot like his fans. I don't think you can dislike Zack Snyder to that degree. I think he's put a pretty good body of work together to. Even though I don't like him, I'll still respect his art, though.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, though, about Thor Ragnarok. I'm not going to lie. It's like, I'm still not going to let that go. That's quiet.
I'm trying to get over it, to be honest with you. Like, I'm trying to look past it. I just think that is the wildest take ever to be made. Nobody dislikes Thor Ragnarok. Like, nobody does.
Sorry, they just made Surtur a joke, and the whole freaking tone was just a silly movie to me.
Fair enough. Listen,
100%. I don't take that away from you, because that's true. Like, but that's the whole thing with Thor as a character. Like, everything outside of their immediate Asgardian realm, people look at it and they go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, look at the first movie. Yeah, the first movie puts him at like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna take your hammer away, send you to Earth." They send him to Earth. He's this silly, out of pocket dude, keeps getting hit by a car. You know, Jane Foster just wants to make out with him. Walks into a fucking pet store, asks for a horse or if he could ride a chow chow, or I don't remember the animal. But then his friends show up and it looks like a fucking Comic-Con the way that they filmed the whole thing. It's these three dudes walking through the center of the town and the center of the. Do you remember what I'm talking about, right? And it's the center of the town looking like Back to the Future. They're just walking all down the center of the road. There's no cars and everybody's like armored up.
Wait, what movie is this?
The first Thor movie. It was the wildest out of pocket shit. And in my mind, the way I always thought about it was, if I was able to give any one of us, what's up, Chew? What's up, my boys?
What's up, Chew?
Yeah, if I was Chew, if I was able to give any one of us $7 million to make a Thor movie based out of fantasy, we run that shit like Lord of the Rings, everyone's gonna love it. If we keep it consolidated. But the moment you start adding out of pocket shit and hospitals, and it does not fucking.
I'm not mad at Thor 1. Like, that looked like a masterpiece compared to Thor 2, bro.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Thor 2 is an abomination.
Abomination, dude.
Like,
I
and
Thor 2, but I hated the story of it.
Yeah. You like Thor 2?
Yes.
Wow, that's super crazy.
You like it more than Thor Ragnarok?
I'm not gonna hate on it. No. I'm not gonna hate on it.
You liked it more than Thor Ragnarok?
Thor 2?
Yeah, yes. Thor 2.
No.
Okay, cool.
You had me nervous there, Derp. I was about to log off, to be honest with you.
You were like, I was about to run.
I was about
to run outside and slap my neighbor, man. God damn it, dude. I'm gonna slap my neighbor's kids the moment I go outside, man.
You had me nervous, my boy.
But you know what? I give it up to Derpy, because not a lot of people sit on the fact that they like Thor 2 I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun, but of course, like what Taika Waititi did with Thor 3 was really great. But Thor 2 wasn't bad, but a lot of people just hated it because they hated it.
That movie sucked, dude.
I thought it was all right.
It was boring.
It was boring.
It was boring. It was boring as fuck.
The story was boring, but the tone wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool.
I guess.
I like, dude. You know what? I thought it was shit that they never brought the Dark Elves back or like those villains. That big dude that fought Thor, that they put the shit in him. Like, dude, he was a fucking. I don't know what he was, or if he was like just a common ass fucking dude. Like, it was really good. That villain that they had, that was the big.
I think that was a waste. That was a waste of the Dark Elves, to be honest with you.
Yeah, dude.
I think that was a waste. Yeah. That was a waste of Dark Elves.
Yeah, they could have brought him back with the hella shit. What's up, John, my boy? John, my best friend from Corpus Christi. I love the guy. Love everybody. Love all you guys. But yeah, okay. So, boys, going back to the major topic before we head out and do our thing and do our watch party. Everybody, there's a comment up on top. It's linked in the comment section here. It's a link. We about to go head off in a little bit to go watch the first episode of Last of Us 2 season 2. Episode 1, or I don't know how that goes. They just dropped the first episode. We're about to do a small watch party with everybody. If you got free time, it ain't too late. You want to kind of kick it and watch Last of Us and you don't know who to watch it with, jump on the link in a little bit once we finish up and come watch it with us, man. Come watch it with us. But ticket sales for Thunderbolts, my opinion, it really doesn't change my mind. I'm going to be in there. The trailers have all dropped and they look phenomenal. I'm excited to see the entrance of the Sentry with us going into Secret Wars and Doomsday War. I think we need someone that's a heavy hitter that Marvel can have 100% fun with, minus like the red tape that the Hulk characters got. And even trying to fuck with like the Red Hulk and Harrison Ford being an older gentleman and not being able to pull through for certain shit. Like, we need a dude that's going to be like just uber out of pocket, Vince in the comment section kind of guy. 100% like, yo, what if James Gunn directed My Little Pony and all of them, you know, were all sexy or whatever, just random shit that James Gunn wants to do. That guy out of pocket. I need a character like that in the Marvel universe. And I think the Sentry is a wild card. Because again, who the fuck cares about the Thunderbolts going into Secret Wars, going into Doomsday? They're just a bunch of dudes with guns. Like, we need some real fucking villains that with some real.
You better care about them because they're gonna. I think that's what the asterisk is. They're gonna be the Dark Avengers.
I 100% believe that. But we all know what happens to the Dark Avengers.
True.
Yeah, so I'll know they're cannon fodder, dude. And it's gonna be fantastic. I really think we're gonna get the Ares scene.
Okay.
And it's gonna be the Guardian, the Red Guardian. He's gonna be Ares.
I don't know if you do that, if you necessarily need it, but it would be dope to see. I won't lie.
Yeah, because I don't know how they pull off like that, like the whole idea of it, right? Because we don't even have Ares, but scary, bro. We have just somewhere out there. We have a Hercules, dude.
We have a Hercules.
We have a fucking Hercules, dude. So maybe we get some Greek ass dudes. They didn't even mention Hercules in the chair. You know what I mean? So he's got to be in there somewhere, right? So I think that Thor movie was such a waste that we're never gonna see Hercules again. Oh, man, I don't think so. I really want to see something with him. I want to see something. Like, I thought that was just a silly show, but yeah. Hercules. All right, boys. Thunderbolt pre-sales didn't really fuck me up. No, they're really low. Guys, don't forget Thunderbolts is coming out soon. I think in a month or whatnot. I think it's gonna be I think it's a sleeper. I think it's a good movie coming up. I think they're really going to give us a very scary introduction to what the Sentry is and can do and his whole shtick. I think it's going to be, consider who Valentina is, right? As a character, consider who the scene of Iron Man and Loki, and consider when what Loki says, well, we have an army. And then fucking Iron Man says, well, we have a Hulk. And then you're like, oh, okay, they're the heroes. But imagine Valentina saying, we have a Sentry.
Listen, they're going to run into an issue. Like, there's no way you're going to justify the X-Men beating this version of the Avengers if they have Sentry. They don't have anybody that can stop him. Like,
100,000,000%, dude.
There's nobody.
Someone's getting torn up, dude.
You're gonna need Jean Grey, bro. They're gonna have to figure that out.
You're gonna need it. Yeah, you're gonna need it 100%. But they got Chris Hemsworth. Mind you, Thor is somewhere in this, so he may pop in and throw hands with Sentry.
He can't though. Like they're gonna like
Sentry tanks him.
Yeah, this Sentry is OP, bro. This Sentry is OP, bro.
Yeah, million times over. He gets tanked by fucking Sentry. But you know, I'm still sitting on that we may get that bromance between him and the Sentry without us getting a Hyperion, and those are going to be the two guys that fight the Beyonders and die before everything's get rebooted. I really think so. I think it's a good mix of it too. But guys, show's coming to an end. I think the only thing that we really had left to talk about, I think we covered everything. I think we didn't get to cover Daredevil, the recap, but we do have the season finale coming up. I haven't been able to catch up on the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, so we can loop this episode and then the season finale in next.
Yeah. Because I mean, even factor of it too. Like there was something about it that when we talked about it last, like I didn't really feel interested to come back.
Okay.
Like I didn't really be like, oh, let me rush. I got to watch the next one. There's something about it that was kind of eh. But you yourself, I know you've seen it. How long have you been liking it or no?
I like it only because it's different, but I can see how a lot of people are falling off the bandwagon. I can see it.
Oh, Icarus versus Sentry though?
You would need
what if Icarus ends up being the Hyperion?
Listen, I said like, and again, I did not think that the Eternals was a bad movie.
Yeah.
So if you bring I'm all for bringing the Eternals
100%. That would be cool too, man. That was when you brought it up earlier, I was like, oh fuck, that's right. They were a big thing in the Avengers versus X-Men, and then of course into the Krakoa story, and I think Triggs mentioned Krakoa for Secret Wars. Mm-hmm. So them kind of like battling Thanos' uncle was a guy Kronos or something. Some big ass the dude that fucked everybody up in like a matter of 1 minute. He fucking kills everybody. Yeah, so you got a lot of fucking lore in that group of miscreants and random shit that can pop off. We don't have a Thanos. We may get a fucking Kronos or whatever his uncle's name is or whatever, some crazy guy. But I didn't even think about that. Icarus versus Sentry would be a dope ass fight. Yeah. Dope ass fight. Real fucking cool. Cool shot.
If you're gonna do the Avengers versus X-Men, you gotta have to have the Eternals there, dude. Like,
and then Namor too. Namor's there, and he's just as strong as those guys too. I wouldn't say as strong as Sentry, but he's up there too. So good call, Vince. Good call. I wouldn't even think of Icarus versus Sentry. I don't think we've even seen that in the comic books, really.
Yeah. Icarus is kind of. I mean, they're both kind of like Superman-esque. So yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's why that's a really good call, man. Good call. Guys, so we're gonna jump off already. It's 10 o'clock, and I know it's early. This isn't really normal for us, but going back to what we posted earlier, we have a watch party that we're gonna be jumping on and hosting with our boy Derpy. We put a link in the comments section earlier, but I will drop it once again just for anybody who would like to join us. Here we go. That's going to be across the board on Facebook, YouTube, and our Twitch channel.
And so then don't forget, we will have a bonus review afterwards. We will jump back in. Anyone that's still up that wants to talk about it, that wants to watch it on their own, they'll come back in here and we'll talk about our thoughts on episode 1.
Yeah. Super cool. And of course, you're going to get our live reaction if you're watching with us at the watch party too. So guys, thank you all so much for tuning in with us on our show. If you're going to go off for the night, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you get the opportunity to watch Last of Us. We're super excited for the show. We're all big fans of what they did with the first season, and we're super excited of what they're going to do in the second season. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us this Sunday. We appreciate every one of you. To our extraordinary listeners, thank you guys so much. And hopefully we see you at the watch party in a little bit. And we'll be posting our links in our personal social medias just to get you guys on. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys again here later. Peace.
Peace.